What's up, Get Better Basketball community? I'm Coach DeMarco, and this is Focused. In today's episode, I'm going to take you through the Celtics game winner that they used against the 76ers that I call fly. It's a really simple concept. It does take some precision, but I believe it could be used at different levels because there are some other options than the one the Celtics took, which is getting the ball to Tatum on the fly and him knocking down a shot. So, really, really simple setup. The Celtics had Derek White over here taking the ball out. They had Al Horford here, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and then down the other end of the floor, they had Jason Tatum. Now, Tatum's player was manned up just a couple of feet off of him, almost like a defensive back. So almost like a go pattern, or it's been called a fly pattern in football, where you're just going to go. That's what Tatum's going to do. I have to think if this player walked themselves back a little further, then Tatum might have come up a couple steps, and they might have just went to Tatum and just ran an ISO set for Tatum. So I think there were secondary options off of this, depending on what this defender did. The Celtics had it set up for that option as well, and you might get that. A high school team might put their defender and say, you know what, we're not going to chase you down there. We're going to be here. There's about 6 seconds on the clock, so that would have been enough time for him to catch, get up the floor, make a move, and score the basketball. So they didn't do that. They put their defender here because they didn't want him to get the basketball. They were hoping it would go to a different player. All right, so first aspect of the play. Now we come down here, and as White initiates the action, really, really simple. Horford is going to come this way, and Brown's actually going to kind of come in and set a screen for him. I actually like this option to a degree because you're going to get defenders. If you have a best player down the other end of the floor, you have some action over here, and Horford kind of worked his way to the corner. Depending on if someone's on the inbounder, you could actually make a pass, or you could have had them flare up a little bit. Could have been an option for your team. They don't actually do that. They kind of just screen for him. Brown works back, Horford works in, and they end up on this side of the floor. So you have Brown and Horford over here on this side. Now, Marcus Smart is the key. He's going to sail his man as that's all happening, and those two players are moving simultaneously, and Tatum is going to start down the floor, and he is going to zip by this defender who's going to try to run with him, and they're going to go from White to Smart, and he's going to thread the needle here, and he's going to hit Tatum, who's going to catch, put it behind his back, and stop. Defender's going to fly, and he's going to knock down a three-pointer. Now, the defender over here comes in to the paint to help on that. And one thing I want you to notice when you watch the video is that Derek White, after he makes that pass, when Tatum catches this ball on the fly, he was actually wide open with his hands up. Great player Tatum, sees a move, makes a move, hits the game-winning shot, lights out, game over. But this player could be open because you draw attention on the move with this player flying down the court, and his defender might get in to help, and you might actually have an opportunity to hit this player. You might have an opportunity to reverse it here. You might hit this player, who is Tatum, who could catch and skip to this player who was wide open for a three-pointer. So there's different options you can use. You could have had the ISO option where the defenders back off. You could have the skip to Horford on the option. Looked like Brown tried to get a quick sail in the paint. The Celtics have done that in the past. They throw it directly in, and Brown could have sailed his person in the paint. And then Smart on the catch could also fake that and maybe go the other way and take a shot too on his defender, who's probably going to cheat as they see this player coming, and Smart look that way. So a lot of different options that you have off a really, really basic action. About 5.8 seconds, I think, 5.9 seconds, and Tatum's going to knock down the game winner. Let's check it out. So we have our basic setup here. You have Horford, Smart, you have Brown, White on the inbound, and there is Tatum with his defender a couple feet off him. Like I said, if this defender came back here, I would think that Tatum would creep up a couple steps and maybe catch it on the move, with this defender backpedaling, I think that would be just as tough on the defender, him coming full speed downhill on the catch. He's backpedaling. They've cleared out some room for him to make a move. So they're going to try to defend it. And actually, the defender does a pretty good job here. I think the key play here is obviously the shot, but it's going to be Smart's pass. So here's the initial action now. We see Horford going to the weak side. Brown is going to kind of sail there. Horford's defender doesn't actually follow him. I think he could have closed out if they had skipped it. They might have been able to, though, skip. You also see Brown was looking for a quick sail in the paint. Celtics have done this in the past. Those aren't bad options in this set. But what they're going to do is they're going to go to Marcus Smart. And if I bring it back just a little bit, Smart is going to sail his player almost post up, who's going to be hardened on him. He's going to catch, and on this, you're going to see Brown make his move. He's going to get downhill. He's going to thread the needle there, Smart. Brown gets his defender going downhill to the basket, behind his back, game winner. Let's take a look at it one more time from full speed, and what a great pass by Smart, but I do think there are other options out of this set, and the one I want to point out is Derek White right there. You see Embiid gets in to help. He was on the inbounder. He had this option to throw to him. So if you make that catch, you have this option to make this pass out to White. Obviously, the catch is hard. If it's something you practice, you're probably going to have a higher chance of doing it. College level, professional level. I do think high school teams, you're not going to get as good of a defender running with your player. If you have a really fast athletic player and they're sprinting downhill, I think they're going to have a better chance to catch the ball and get led to the basket. So as good as Tatum is offensively and Smart making the pass, this defender does a really nice job. You might not get that. So this is something I would definitely experiment with. If it's a tie game, you have a shot, a couple seconds left, and you have an opportunity to knock down a shot like this one. And I just want to take a look at this from one more angle so you can see the pass that Smart makes leading him. Nice job by Tatum initiating contact and then working away from his defender. And you can see what he's seeing now visually. He's got space in front of him. All right, he sees the help defenders. If he takes one more dribble, he might have had that kick out. He might have went with that option, but he knows he's got this defender going hard downhill, puts it behind his back. The defender continues. Nice quick stop there to get this three-pointer and game winner. One more time at full speed, knockdown game winner by Tatum. Maybe the Celtics fly game winner is something you can use with your team in a playoff game, another ATO situation, to get a good look for your best player coming downhill with the basketball. There's other options off of it. You have the sail by Brown. You have Horford on what would be kind of a flare on the backside. You have Smart on the catch here that could obviously fake it, turn, go the other way. You have Tatum on the catch that could kick out or that could do what he did, which was stop and shoot or continue into the paint. And remember, at the NBA level, yes, great pass by Smart, great catch by Tatum, but you also have to factor in at a high school level, if you're running an action like this, defender might not be as good at staying with your player, might be an easier pass to make. There might be some other variables. Maybe that defender that's on them comes back here and you can just get the ball into them with 6 seconds and ISO your best player one-on-one or run a ball screen action or whatever you want to run with those 6 seconds. They might not defend them all the way down the court. So the Celtics probably had different options if that defender was tighter or they were further back. I think it would have been harder for the defense if that defender was here because I think Tatum could have caught it on the run downhill, that he would have had momentum. At least the player had a chance to turn and run with them. He did his best job as he could, but Smart made a great thread the needle pass. So great action, high school, college, professional, whatever level. I think this is something you can use with your team or modify and use some type of action that is similar as there are other options off of it. If you like this set, make sure you hit that like button down below. Turn on your notifications. Subscribe to Get Better Basketball on YouTube for more great video breakdowns each and every week.